Hello, everybody. My name is Naik Armendaris. He is Jesus Castor. We're coming from El Paso, Texas Community College, and our experiment name is the effect of microgravity on the use of cactus mucilage for water purification.
Okay, so there has been recorded that some Mexican communities were already using the cactus to purify water as early as the 19th century. So from this starting point, Dr. Norma Alcantara from the University of South Florida started researching this ability of the cactus. And she was able to find out that the mucilage can remove arsenic and iron from the water. So we just modified this experiment for mucilage to remove chromium-6 because the steel production on the moon is still being evaluated, and one of the possible setbacks can be the production of chromium-6 as a waste, and which can also lead to the contamination of the few water available on the moon. And if our experiment gives good results, it can be a solution for this fictional problem. So our objective is basically just to test this ability of the cactus to remove heavy metals under microgravity conditions. So the cactus mucilage is basically the slimy fluid secreted by the cactus. One of the ways that it can be extracted is a gelin extract, which the main component is a pectin, which can also be found between the cells and in the cell walls of the most plants. When extracted, this mucilage pectin is surrounded by a calcium ion layer. And when it reacts with the chromium-6, this chromium-6 displaces the calcium, giving the pectin a new layer of chromium-6. And when this happens, the molecules get heavier and they sediment to the bottom, leaving the water in the middle clean from chromium-6. So since the reactions taking place are mostly ionic reactions, we do not believe that microgravity should have any significant effects on the chromium binding process. So this is the way that we design our experiment. The main volume contains the chromium-6 solution to 1 milligram per liter concentration. We activate the experiment by breaking the ampoule A, which contains the mucilage. And 7 days later, we deactivate the experiment by breaking ampoule B, which contains the 100% ethanol. But to come to that conclusion, we have to do several tests. Our first couple of experiments were just intended to prove that the mucilage was binding to chromium. And our very first experiment, we just placed a cactus piece in a chromium solution and let it stand for 2 weeks, and we just observed it under the electron microscope. And this is one of the photographs that we took from the cactus piece. And when we took the X-ray acquisition from this area, we got a 49% of chromium, which gave us the first clue that this process was already working. So our second experiment, we just liquefied the cactus, added to the chromium solution, and measured after 1 day with a spectrophotometer. And we got a 65% lower concentration of the chromium. So this proved to us that the mucilage was already binding to the chromium. So next, we just wanted to standardize our experiment. So we tested several concentrations of the mucilage to see which one worked the best. Here you can see that all the concentrations are about the same values. So since we wanted to save powder because it's very difficult to get, we decided to go with the 10 milligrams per liter concentration. Next, we also wanted to find out a way to separate the mucilage from the solution, because that sedimentation process that I just told before will not work on microgravity. So we wanted to find a way to separate out the mucilage bound to the chromium. So basically, we just compare the filtration and centrifugation, and here you can see that the filtration was already giving good results, while the centrifugation actually had a reverse effect. With these experiments, we decided a way to set up our experiment, which is using the 10 milligrams per liter GE mucilage, filtering out the mucilage as well. And we are still waiting our experiment to get back from space, and hopefully we can get good results.
Well, we'd like to thank to Dr. Cunnings, who is actually a co-investigator. She helped us with everything, pretty much. She teaches how to manage all these things. We would like to thank also to El Paso Community College, who actually was the sponsor for this trip. And we would like to thank also to the SSEP and to Yale Goldstein and to Dr. Harry Van Hallen, because they were very supportive with us. So, any questions?
All right, thank you. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Please, if you have any questions for this group of researchers, please come to the microphone and ask your questions.
What does mucilage mean?
Oh, it's just the slimy fluid secreted by the cactus. Just that liquid itself.
Thank you again for a very excellent presentation.